enlightenment does not mean perfect morality. I always come across these things. People say, "Oh, this person is a swami, he's teaching this and that, but he's having, sexual relationships with multiple students, and and so forth. And this is not how it should be," and dictating, how the morality of someone who's supposed to be, a swami, and as though he's like a god, right? These are humans. They just learned how to activate, a part of the brain, that is dormant, and that's going to be the discussion of this video. So please, if you like the contents of my videos, please like and subscribe. It will help me to reach out to more people and really help my channel, and I would really appreciate that. And also, my introductions, I'm Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially treating the adverse effects of involuntary Kundalini awakening. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, practicing yoga and meditation myself personally for almost 50 years, and teaching for 44 years. In that time, I've increased and the depth and width of my knowledge in this science from various masters, from around the world. And to date, as a result, I've got students in over 100 countries, and developed simplified protocols for the 21st century. And one of my protocols is a 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free from my website, yogawellness786.com, where you can also get more information about my services. Also, understand that my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, coming to this question of enlightenment and the misconception that enlightened person, he should be a perfect person, right? So let me put this thing. So it's not an unrealistic expectation, because usually these people on a higher level, and they understand morality better and the harms of immorality, but still every person is a human. He doesn't suddenly become god man, man to god man. Yes, he becomes, it seems like he's a superman, right? So a very good example is, when modern civilized Western man went into primitive jungles, primitive areas, exploring primitive areas of the world, coming into Africa and primitive people, and they see people with clothing and weapons and guns and telescopes and all types of stuff, and they just with spears and bows and arrows, living off the land, and so forth. It seems like this person is a god, right? So, like that, when someone in yoga and meditation develops, awakens his higher, the full capacity of his brain, because everyone, in my opinion, so scientifically they say, Einstein said you're best using 20%, and science now says you're using around 8 to 10%. From my experience of, the various samadhis that I had in my life, it is you not even using a fraction of a potential, right? But from the theory, from the yogic sciences, you have 114 energy centers, and they are all dormant. Only 26 main ones are active, just to keep life together, for you to be functioning, grow up into an adult, and do things on a very basic and mundane level. It's like your mobile phone on a power saver mode, right? So once the person who awakens all 114 centers, and his brain is fully active, and he can start talking and give answers, and he seems like a superhuman, and everyone wants to worship him like he's a god. And then they say, no, but he's having, he's using drugs, and he's having sex with all his students, or multiple students. And this is, what business is that of ours, right? What someone is doing, that's his private life, right? What he's doing, two consenting adults. If he's using illegal drugs, lock him up, put him in prison, right? He's not a god. If he's having relationships with people who are under 21, and depending on your country, some countries under 18, then lock him up for for that crime, right? For having relationships, intimate relationships with children, right? Pedophile, right? Mark him as a pedophile, right? If he's a pedophile, don't treat him like a god. He's not a god, right? He's just a. You can be that, just that he keep. This is why people keep a secret the yogic sciences, because it wields so much of power. Someone who cracked the code, and how to develop everything, and the rest, they win the adoration and the almost worship of all the humans. And then they just have to sit, relax in a center, and they get money coming to them, they get funding coming to them, donations coming to them, and so much of money is coming to them. They are, riding helicopters and speedboats, and living the life of their, there's they can even purchase their worth, they even got a net worth, right, in millions of dollars, right, $50 million, 100 million. Some people, maybe could even become billionaires, right? And they involved in other, activities. There's so much of money, they start involving themselves in other, major activities and missions and so forth, and winning more and more adoration, because imagine you got an adult among infants. The infant's going to worship the adult because he's so big, he's so strong, he can move so much faster, he can, do so many things, he can drive a car, he can, like, to the infant, the adult is like a god to them. So this is how it is. So don't go into moral judgments and so forth, because this means you are idolizing this person. Just consider him another person. He learned how, and he's controlling you. Sometimes he says no, he want to enlighten you and so forth, but he's not giving you the full information. And he'll say, no, I'm giving you everything, I'm giving you everything, giving all the information. Likely not, because if he makes you exactly like how he is, right, then he loses value, right? He's on a certain level, and he said, oh, I want everyone to become my level I'm giving. He just give you a little to excite you, and you're getting some experience, right? Some out of body experience and all that, but you're not reaching his level, right? And he's making, so people coming and saying, oh, he shouldn't be like this. It's none of our business, right? Just treat him like an ordinary person. Firstly, this is the primary. Secondly, it's none of our business. His personal life, whether he's using drugs or not. Who are we? If he's advocating that, you should not be, promiscuous, and should not be having drugs and having drugs on the side. The charlatans, right, in the world. So maybe, I mean, he's just a regular charlatan, right? So if he's committing any crime, lock him up, right? Don't, but don't come say, oh, he shouldn't be doing this and doing that. If he's doing normal things, that is not a crime. Right? He's not a god, no god, man. So this is why I don't like, some people being worshipped, and I don't want to mention any, religious figures and be offensive. I personally, I've gotten, no higher respect or something. I respect everyone else. Like, I respect the child, but the child is deserving of respect, and God is right as an adult. It doesn't mean the child is less important than an adult, right? So when we want to save a life, more important to save the child's life, and the adult can take care of himself. So I must stress more important to those who are not elevated than those who have more respect, for the big religious leaders. Instead of having respect for them, they don't need, they are adult, they are just enlightened, and they've got focus on those who's not. Give more importance to them, you know. And I wish that perspective, helps you, and I hope some of you can agree with me on this point, and take care of yourself always.